Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. Last episode was a good one. We got a few things, notably the special dumpling skin, the dessert skin from the Barons, and might have found a few cards, a few nether stones, the usual good stuff. But more importantly, we finished off with our mission for stockpiling keys from the gods that we'd already taken down at the Gate of the Gods, and in this episode, as I mentioned earlier, we are gonna be trying to take down the remaining ones. Now, for the gods that I've taken down so far, I've made them all their own separate videos. I've made, thumbnails for each of them and little clever or not so clever titles. This one's going to be a bit different because we are going to be doing a whole bunch of them at once. Okay, we got to manually change our party. I thought it would have already done that. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't, and I have no idea when it remembers what your specialization loadout was and when it doesn't. But for the purposes of this episode, the goal is going to be to take everybody down with just the Blight Party, or the Blight Party, as it were. And the way we do that is just we're gonna go through the list, top to bottom, and but we're just gonna do it. Let's just make sure that our anointments feel like they're correct. They feel like they are correct to me, so let's just go ahead and do it. Now we've got to do. I should have looked up how many gods we needed to do. We're gonna do all of them except for Tauren in this. Not all of them, but over 2 episodes. Well, that fucking sucks. Okay, this is gonna be... Okay. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those kinds of fights where it's very luck-based. Okay. I guess technically it counts as a debuff. Hang on a second. Let's look at our character perks. Shouldn't they already be blighted? Yeah. So I guess even if they're already blighted, the fact that the spell could have in some circumstance afflicted them with the debuff is making it so that, there's a 50% chance that we just waste it. But, listen, as long as we get it done in the end, this is gonna be... Oh, no. Why? Fuck off, dude. This is gonna be one of those where we might waste a few keys against him, because with coin flips, essentially, you can just sometimes get extraordinarily unlucky. And I'm just gonna... Fuck off, dude. Okay, just... As long as we're getting one good cast, then it's getting done. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wow, there's a lot that we have to do. So we're basically going to be doing 8 in this episode, 8 in the next episode, hopefully. And, oh god, this is... Maybe... Arguably, this is one of the ones that I should have done in its own separate video, because This is potentially going to be a bit of an annoyance. But hey, at least we're getting it out of the way early. At least we're getting it out of the way early. One other thing we could do, since 16 is a lot. I have no idea what's going on in this. Oh god. Oh, he's casting Relight. That's why he's killing himself. Oh my frickin' god. Okay. Yeah, this one, hopefully none of the others are going to be as annoying as this. What I could potentially do is, this is episode 296. Initially, okay, so assuming each of these takes 20 minutes, which is a pretty optimistic assumption, but we'll see. We'll get through 4080. We'll see how long it takes. If it's... Oh god. Oh man, why are they coming back? That's annoying, man. That's freaking annoying. But you know what? It's okay. We're already a fourth of the way through and nearly 7 minutes into the video. I think what I'm gonna have to do is... Oh, Jesus, are you really, dude? You know what? I'm gonna take Relight off. Because it's just... Oh my god, are you fucking serious? This is what I mean about fucking... Somehow we still won, but you see what I mean about this coin flip situation. Maybe there's a way you can game the system, you can cheese it so that, oh, you're technically not... It's technically not an attack, but it's causing them to take damage. Yeah, I'm gonna... Basically, this guy just has to take his turn, and that's gonna... Can we time lock him? Yeah. Yeah, he just has to take his turn, and that's gonna kill him. I am going to... remove... Actually... Whoever has Relight, unequipping it, because it's just causing more trouble than it's worth. It would maybe be useful on others, against other gods that we've already fought. That was a nice, easy one. If only they could all be like that. If frickin' only. Alright. I was... Doing these in 2 episodes, I think, is probably a bit optimistic. Yeah, see, the problem with the Relight is that, hey, finally we get the plush. That's very important. It's going to go in our trophy room later on. But the thing about Relight is that, yes, yes, it gives us the rebirth, but it also kills the person who casts it, and then they lose their place in the timeline. Even if they're resurrecting, they lose their place and they go to the bottom of the timeline, so effectively we've lost their turn, and it just isn't really necessary except in battles where we are, you know, desperately afraid for our lives, and that's generally not the case against this guy. Against this guy, we just want as many attacks at the top of the timeline as we can muster, and hopefully get enough 50-50 chances to go our way, so that, you know, we kill him before he and his team start taking their turns. And you know, that's just really, I think, a better way of doing this. Other battles, I'm hoping, are going to be way more straightforward than this. Alright. Let's keep going. I think I might do Regalis next. I think Regalis was pretty I think, like, because I think she hits you with random debuffs or something like that. Oh, don't attack. There we go. Haven't gotten any skins so far, that's okay. Let's see, what's the thing with Regalis? A random debuff at the start and end of their turns, enemies can't be resistant. But I guess you can be immune outright. So the only annoying debuffs would be Confusion and Silence. Because those are the only things that would stop us from casting our spells on the enemy. And there we go. Let's keep on doing this. And I think I might have to adjust my expectations. So let's say we do, instead of 8 per episode, we do 5 per episode and stretch it across 3 episodes. And then we do 6 in the 3rd episode, or we do 6 in this episode, whatever it takes. What if we did that? That would mean 6, 7, 8 would be taken up by this whole process. And what would that mean? That would mean we would only have 2, 8, 9. We would only have 1 episode. Fuck off, man. Oh, are you serious, dude? Yeah, I cast the wrong thing. Oh, God fucking damn it. Come on, dude. Are you... Are you fucking serious, dude? See, this is why this fight, I'm hoping, is just going to be the most annoying one from this episode. So alternatively, I could just do a longer episode and just get like 8 of them done. Just bite the bullet on this. Again, it depends on how quickly they go. Because we are more than halfway through, but we are at 13 minutes on just 4080. That one went nice and gently. We're just gonna continue, man. We're just gonna continue. This is a long grind, but a grind that needs to be done. And I'm eager to get this done. Oh God, this fucking guy. That's annoying. But I hope this guy is never part of 4080's team. Man, what? We're probably gonna lose this because of this bullshit. Oh boy. I mean, our party is robust enough that even faced with that nonsense, we were able to win. Which is a good sign. But really... Oh god. The gist of it is, finally, we get a skin. The gist of it is, we have to do approximately 40 wins per god, and 40 times 8 is 320, which doesn't actually sound like a lot. 320 doesn't sound like a lot, assuming they aren't taking us that much time per victory. Like, it has to be less, significantly less than a minute of victory, otherwise it's going to be way more than 3 hours. And when things are going well, we are getting it done in under a minute, but as you can see, sometimes against this guy in particular, nonsense happens, which is largely unavoidable. But I'm hoping that when it's through, then it's just gonna be smooth sailing. Because Alexandria should be fine, Anelta should be fine, Aurum, Azural, all of those guys should be okay. Yeah, I think we might push through and just try to do try to get 8 of them done, because then episodes 296 and 297 will be the cleanup. Episode 298, we could maybe take one more crack at trying to find the Life Mastery Anointment. Episode 299 could be the fight against Tauren. And then episode 300 could be our attempt to ascend the Pariah. So like a pretty pretty ambitious plan. Pretty ambitious plan, but I do think that it is plausible, especially if we just rush through this as quickly as we can. And despite the fact that occasionally it's gone slow, we are still at under 20 minutes. We also spent about maybe a minute just, you know, doing the usual intro to the episode. And if we take that into consideration, I think we're making okay time. If it's 20 minutes per god, and if we're doing 8 of them, then that works out to be under 3 hours. I would like to be a lot quicker than that, or at least a little bit quicker than that, but we'll see. We'll see. Getting close to the end here. Yeah, sometimes garbage like... This is one thing that's just causing things to take more time. His boss gimmick, you know. Let's let him have his time in the sun, you know. These are technically boss fights, so it's not surprising that at least some of them would have some challenge to them. So, you know what, it's okay. We've only found one skin so far, but I think we already had at least one skin for 4080 before this. So maybe the fact that we found only one new skin isn't that bad. if we count the ones we already had. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm not going to be pausing to show each individual skin for each individual god that we take out, because that would just take way too frickin' long. Instead, what we will do is we will get to the end of next episode and we'll look at all of them at the end. I'll make a list of the gods that we did, and we'll or you know, we'll just look through the entire list of skins, you know, because why not relive some of the old, you know, awesome ones that we've already seen. Alright, this is the final one. Oh, this is not the final one. This is the penultimate one against you. We're at it's gonna be about 22 minutes dealing with this guy with his annoying gimmick, wasting our time. Despite that, we made decent time, so hopefully the rest of them are more reasonable than this, and we haven't even wasted a single key, which is the other good thing. And done. No time to bask in the glory of having beaten him, because immediately we are into a fight against Alexandria. Gotta beat you 36 times. One thing that'll save us a bit of time is we've already beaten all these gods at least once, so it's gonna save us doing some of these. Yeah. Emblem of Alexandria. Hang on. What is the second spell that you're casting? Oh, it's the it's Contagion. Well, we don't really need Contagion. Oh god. Creatures, manage spell gems. Who has Contagion? We're gonna speed things up by getting rid of any superfluous spells. Just because any extra spell casting that happens is just extra time that's being spent. I should have gotten rid of Contagion ages ago. We really only needed it for Alexandria. Sorry, not even Alexandria. Alexandria is what we're fighting right now. We only needed it for Muse. God, okay. Don't want to lose too much time to you know, running back and forth. Alright. Alright, so that's one god down in the form of 4080. Pretty soon it'll be two, and then, like, you know how numbers work. But again, looking at the time, I think we're gonna be able to pull this off in under 3 hours. But it'll be tight. It will be tight. But I do think we are done. Actually, you know what? I guess we've already started fighting Alexandria. We might as well continue. But I'll do Regalis next, because the debuffs could give us some problems, right? Because we can't be resistant. So if we're silenced, or if we're fucking garbage. That's the first time Alexandria has really wasted any of our time. So good job, Alexandria. You made your people proud, I guess. Alright. After Alexandria, we'll do Regalis. After Regalis, I think we'll just continue going down through the list. Oh yeah, another thing is gonna be... Is Aurum gonna instantly kill us? Let me actually check that pretty quickly. Because his gimmick is you take a scripted amount of indirect damage, but it's based on your lowest stat. Oh, never mind. Aurum's gonna be a joke, and we already got a skin. Alright, so we've got to keep that in mind. Anyway, let's go back to taking out Alexandria. That's gonna mess up the achievements in the list of recently earned achievements. Like one Aurum achievement is gonna be like out of order, but you know what? I'm not really too worried about that. Yeah, keep doing Alexandria. Oh god. That's okay. That's fine. I think we'll do fine. Really, the only issue with this episode is it's gonna be a whole lot of this. It's gonna be pretty tedious. But there's no getting around it. It had to be done. Ooh, there's an Alexandria skin. Wonder if we already have the Alexandria plushie or if it hasn't dropped yet. We have fought a lot of these gods once already, so hard to say. No, excuse me? Fucking excuse me? You got a bunch of temporary fucking traits. Do we have blank slate? We do. Okay. Good. Blank slate, I'm glad we had that, because that would have been really annoying. Would have been our first potential key wasted. But we got through that. I should probably set up a macro. No. It doesn't take that long. Fermented Hops is at the top of the list. Yeah. And you just gotta move down by one. Let's not be, you know, that indignant about having to do even a tiny bit of work. So we are at 30 with Alexandria, and we are at 29 minutes. We already had a few kills against Alexandria coming into it, so that saved us a bit of time. Oh, some joker has shuffled the timeline. Please never do that again. Alright. Alright, let's keep this going. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I can do to make things exciting. In a way, the whole idea is to make things unexciting. You know, we have a party that we built to guarantee that we win every single time without any surprises. And you know what? That makes the game boring in a way. But hey, listen. You gotta... A game like this, a game that's this complicated, will not hesitate to screw you over with its obscure rules and interactions of game mechanics. So you gotta take your victories when you can. And I'm definitely gonna take this victory, and I'm gonna be thoroughly enjoying it. Alright, let's keep on going. We are past 30 minutes now. Whew. God, this is gonna be long. Part of me is thinking I should do this off screen, but like these achievements are a pretty core part of the end game. I couldn't skip this. However boring this gets, I couldn't skip this. Achievements like visit 10,000 realms, if that's the last thing to do, then I'd be comfortable skipping and showing you like every 100th realm just to show you the progress. But for beating the gods, you're beating the gods, you kind of have to show all of it. And if you found a way to make it so easy that it's boring, really, that's something to be celebrated, you know? At least that's how I'm gonna interpret it. Alright. Alright. We'll do Regalis next. And then we'll just keep going down the list. Analtha, whatever. Oh, it's this Joker again. Oh, these Jokers, there's two of them this time. Alright. We're getting there. Slowly, but surely. Alright. I guess we can use this as an opportunity to just talk about life in general, talk about our plans for the game, talk about other games. Well, let's start off by just talking about more general plans for this game, you know, because we don't have to be commentating on every single thing, because most of the battles should be identical, right? So let's just take a step back and talk more generally. So I'm hoping that after episode 300, once this is done and once the Ascension of the Pariah is done, then the main difficult and grindy boss killing achievements, at least a lot of them, will be behind us. There are, of course, other achievements for oh god, really? There are other achievements for ascending all of the different specializations, but those will be easy to do. Those, theoretically, you only have to beat all of the gods once each on level 10, so you only have to get like 30 wins in, well, 30 wins in total. You may be wasting some keys along the way, especially against Confurian and some of the other luck-based gods. You may have to switch your specializations to beat some of the gods. But overall, that's not going to take as long as it takes to fight each individual god a minimum of 40 times in total to hit the level 50 achievement. And I'll have to figure out how we handle the ascensions for the other specializations. Because for a lot of them, I hate to say it, but we're just going to be completely ignoring the mechanics for the specializations. We're just going to be throwing in the Fermented Hops party and getting a bunch of easy kills against these gods. Right, because why make things harder for yourself than what you need to do. Right? Why make things harder for yourself than what you need to do? And you might be saying, well, wouldn't it be satisfying to come up with a nice build for each specialization? That would be satisfying, but there are a couple problems with that. Number one, your nice build, or what would be a nice build fighting enemies in realms, isn't necessarily a nice build fighting these gods. Some of these gods are so specific that there's one and only one way to take them down. A good example is Lister, where the only way to literally you can't do anything except wait, right? It doesn't matter how beautiful your build was, all you can do is wait. And same with oh god, Gonfurion, you know, the the biggest troll out of all of these. You can't even do anything to him unless you have like some weirdly specific debuff oriented build. And not every specialization naturally leans into something like that, right? So that's one part of it. The other part of it is you unlock specialization perks for ascending each specialization. So even our dream build for each specialization would depend on us completing this first. And it could be that the special perk is the thing that you would need to turn it into a dream build, right? And I don't want to go around looking at those up. I've kept things spoiler free. The only thing I did look up was for the deprived and the pariah, because I kind of already knew what those were. In fact, I think in the patch notes when they were added, it might have just straight up told you what they did. There's another skin. By the way, we're doing Regalis now. Should have. I'm regretting having unlocked the Cloth Abomination, because every time this Joker shows up, we're gonna have to spend an extra turn killing him. Ugh. Ugh. But hopefully, it doesn't show up often. For some reason, we're not getting hit with debuffs. Maybe it's because the turn hasn't started yet. Oh, maybe it's because start of combat doesn't mean start of turn. Well, never mind. We are all... Oh, I think it's because they had a... I gotta... Why were we silenced? Stifled. Yeah, they had that perk. So it wasn't something that she did. So this is gonna be easy. But since we've started hitting her, we might as well go the rest of the way, just to keep the achievements a little bit consistent. But yeah, it'll just be a really big, grindy task done by the time we have all the god-killing... Not the Ascension, but the basic god-killing, meaning fight all of these all the way to level 50. I wish there was a way to skip to level 50, but I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Which is fine, you know. It's okay. So we've killed 2 of them, which 2 out of 8, and we are at under 40 minutes. We're making progress on Regalis as well, so I think maybe we are going to be making good time after all, except what the fuck is going on in this episode? They have the Pumpkin King, which means we're fucked, because they've got fucking millions of defense. Yep, there's just nothing we can do. This is our first real loss. This is our first real loss. Pumpkin King ruins so many plans because of that nonsense, and because the game isn't clear about what percentage damage means, because percentage damage should just be straight up percentage damage, but no, it seemingly is also affected by defense. The Pumpkin King, incidentally, is why it took me so long to realize how the realm property which says stats are swapped, how that was working. Because occasionally I would notice that enemies would have seemingly a higher defense than what was expected and lower health. And I think on some of those realms, it might have said stats are swapped. Stats are swapped only applies to the player's stats. But the Pumpkin King has a thing where he, at the start of battle, switches the entire team's stats, sorry, the entire team's defense and strength. And the thing about boss fights is that in boss fights, they have an elevated amount of health. Sorry, not defense and strength, defense and health. In boss fights, they have an elevated amount of health. And if that health gets turned into defense, then that means they... Unless you have some stat scaling, you're not gonna... They'll be impervious to a lot of things that would have otherwise damaged them. The upshot is that because they have low health, if you can damage them, you can often kill them in one hit, but it just turns battles into just a very strange situation. Yeah, but hopefully we don't run into those Pumpkin Kings too often. Alright, let's just keep on going. Keep on keeping on. We're at 25 kills against you. And we are 42 minutes into the episode. I'm just gonna go as fast as I possibly can. Fast as I possibly can. Oh, we got one of these guys again. That's another thing that's gonna slow it down for us. But we can time walk you to death. As long as most battles are quick and easy. Right? That's the most you can hope for. Alright. Alright. He did take his turn, because they didn't die from the start of battle spellcasting, so he did get a debuff. In that instance, he got cursed. It is good to know that you can get away without... Sorry, without interacting with her boss trait by just killing her with start of battle stuff. Excuse me, my tummy is a little bit rumbly. Oh, no. That's not... Well, I guess we killed you anyway. Springtime Regalis. Some of these skins are gonna be amazing. I wish we could look at them in more detail, but you know what? We'll look at all of them. All of them when we are done fighting Tauren. How about that? How about that? You might be wondering, hey, you could kill Tauren with the Fermented Hops party. There's nothing stopping you. And that is correct. It's not like I need a different party to kill Tauren. It's not like I couldn't make this an easy win against Tauren as well. But I just want to give Tauren his own special episode because I feel like I have a special relationship with Tauren. He, like, out of all the gods, I mean, Regalis is kind of like who we are married to because we spend the most time with her, but Tauren is the person who we find the most interesting when we happen to be in their company. So it's let's just say we have an open relationship with Regalis, right? She doesn't mind. Like, she's okay with us hanging out with other gods, you know? She's not jealous. We did build a whole shrine to her in our castle, so, you know, she's happy. She's got her own thing going on, you know. You don't need to be together all the time. But yeah, Tauren is the one that makes me laugh the most. Some of the others as well, like Tartareth is pretty funny. A lot, like, in his own way, Tamara Murgo is pretty funny. Some of the others, are. They also have their moments. Some of them aren't really meant to be funny. Is the other thing, right? Because some of them are more, you know, serene and graceful, like Siralim. Oh, by the way, yeah. One other thing that's going to happen in this episode is we are going to be hitting probably several percentage point achievements. We just got the one for 71%. I'm not going to stop and show you each individual one. I will show you at the end of the episode how many we've gotten in total. But we're going to be getting quite a few of them. Quite a few indeed. We're into the tail end of our fight against Regalis. So far, she is the only one who's been able to... Technically, we forfeited, but we would have lost that battle had we not forfeited, because we didn't have any... We don't have any way of dealing with enemies that swap their giant health with their defense. You could make a build that can deal with it, but it would probably take you multiple turns. And realistically, you'd save more time by just forfeiting and going back and hoping that they don't have something like that in their party. Right. We are 47 minutes. We're definitely going to be done with Regalis before we hit an hour. So we are at under 20 minutes per god, which is good. And then another 3 would put us at 2 hours, and then another 2 after that would put us at 2 hours 40 minutes. That's assuming it's 20 minutes per god. I'm hoping we can speed it up a lot more than that, but it might. It's definitely gonna run into more than 2 hours this episode, so just be ready for that. Just be prepared for that. Watch it at, you know, double speed, 4 times speed, whatever it takes. I wouldn't blame you for skipping, you know, just looking at, you know, the little preview it shows you to figure out when we're done with each individual god. And, you know, just... Or just skipping to the end and just, you know, seeing the list of achievements just to... as a confirmation that we did indeed earn them. Or you could just have this episode running in the background while you do your chores. Although I would hope that whatever chores you have don't take you nearly 3 hours, because that's a long time to be to be doing chores. I mean, you could also watch it over multiple days, right? Sometimes that also happens. And that's the downside to doing daily episodes, is that when the episodes get, or like 5 days a week episodes, when the episodes get too long, there's really, right, if somebody's following the series in real time, like as the episodes are coming up, it's gonna be tough for you to like watch every single minute of every single episode. And I don't expect you to, right? If you're enjoying the series, like, I look at it this way. The main reason I'm recording all of it is that, like I said, this is a big part of the end game sort of combat oriented achievements, is beating all of the gods. We've already beaten all of the false gods 10 times each. That's another thing. The nether bosses, we could whip their asses 10 times each, but you can only fight them every so often. The gods are like the only ones that you have to fight at a restricted level, and they keep getting stronger. And you stay at the same level. So they are an extra challenge in, comparison to achievements like just killing each of the false gods 10 times. Because technically you could just do that on 0 instability. You would have to be constantly descending realm depth, true, but on 0 instability there's really no chance of them doing anything to you. You could also do them without giving them any buffs. You could just pick the debuffs every single time to make the fights even easier. Like, we've been making it harder for ourselves, but that's mainly just because we want the extra loot, right? For killing the false gods. Same with the nether bosses. Like, you don't debuff them, but if you fight them on 0 instability, the fights become a lot more straightforward. Right. This is another one of those enemies that is capable of wasting a little bit of our time, but anyway, that's another god down. We're just gonna start doing a Melta now. 3 out of 8. 3 out of 8. Maybe I should have started this process earlier, given myself an extra episode. To take all these down, but you know what? This is just how things have turned out. So let's just accept the cards that we were dealt and we'll, make the best of it. We are at under 55 minutes and we've already taken 3 of them down. So it might be that we are... Okay, we get the Inalta plush. It might be that we are now going at a good enough pace that we can save even more time with the rest of them. We'll see what we are like by the time we are done dealing with Inalta. Oh, no, easy, easy. Don't want to be going after Torin. Torin will kill this party in one hit, because I have not set them up to resist the kind of indirect damage that he throws out. I will fight Torin with my animator party, just because I feel like the animator party kind of is me at this point. Like, that's the one that I've been playing, and the other parties almost feel like optional side characters that I'm doing. Like, the main one will always feel like the animator, I do think. Alright. This is going reasonably okay. Okay, that was annoying, but it's fine. Blank slate is still pretty important, because if they gain extra traits, we don't be losing keys for easily remedied situations. The Pumpkin King situation, yes, that is gonna waste our keys, and yes, there are ways to account for it, but no easy way that I can think of that wouldn't involve spending time scaling your stats. Whereas extra traits are something that you can just get rid of completely with one single spell cast. So that is worth having, even at the risk that maybe, you know, once every 10 battles we'll cast it when we don't need to, you know, because of our automatic spell casting, and it'll waste maybe like 30 seconds cumulatively over the course of this episode, right? We can handle that. We can definitely handle that. Alright. Excuse me? You didn't cast your spell, dude. That was a little disheartening, but that's okay. Still under an hour, and we've made good progress on Elta. I think we'll be fine. It would be way too ambitious to expect us to go under 2 hours, but I think we can do it so that it's not much more than 2 hours. I think that's a more realistic goal. So after Anelta, we'll do Aurum. After Aurum, we do Azurael. And then that'll put us at 5, I think. Yeah, this is our this is our 4th. Yeah, because we started out doing 4080, then we did Alexandria, then we did Regalis, now we're doing Anelta. This is our 4th. The next one will be our 5th, and then our 6th, and then our 7th, then our 8th. And then we will be done. Depending on how quickly we're done, I might even show you the skins that we've unlocked for the gods that we've fought. That was beautiful. They must have had like extra healing or something that screwed them over when it came to blight damage. Nice. Alright. Still under an hour. And we're getting to the halfway point with Anelta. Which is pretty promising. I'm not sure if the skin bonus from Skin Week or from the Deprived Ascendancy perk is being applied. Because it doesn't feel like the rate at which we're getting skins is significantly higher than the rate at which we were getting them before we had the Deprived perk, which is something that we've gotten relatively recently. We fought a lot of gods without that perk. So I don't know. Hard to say. Still under an hour. So at the... Oh god, yeah. Okay, that's annoying, but we're fine. At the 1 hour mark, we are more than halfway into a Nelta. You know, I think I might do Siralim next. Yeah, okay, you're gonna waste a bit of our time. But you're gonna die. You are gonna die. Alright, alright. That's fucking annoying, but that's okay. Occasionally enemies are gonna waste a few extra seconds of our time, and that's okay. As long as most battles are fine. Yeah, I think I'll go after Siralim next. Just to make sure nothing funky happens. Actually, you know what? Might go after Reclusa next. Because didn't she have a thing? End of each enemy's turn. Never mind. Never mind. End of each enemy's turn. Because most of our damage is happening at the start of battle. And even if they don't die at the start of battle, we don't get killed at the start of our turn against Reclusa. We potentially die at the end of the turn. So I think we'll be just fine against her. Aurum, we just established, is not a threat. Whatever, just kill him. Yeah, those guys have wasted quite a bit of our time just by forcing us into the extra turn that it takes to finish them off. Yeah. Alright. Really do like battles where we kill them without having to take a special turn of our own, or like a turn, just like turn one. All right, that's pretty good. Let's just keep on going. 39. Is that, I think that's the cherub that resurrects. Oh no, that's a different one. That's okay. Yeah, let's keep going after Anelta at 40, and we are only an hour and 3 minutes. And we're close to the halfway point. So maybe... I mean, under 2 hours is not really possible. But maybe... not much more than 2 hours could be a plausible way to do it, or like a plausible thing to hope for. Yeah, I'm gonna go after Siralim next. But let's focus. Let's not think too far ahead. We do have a few more victories to get against you. Oh, you haunted golems, of course, are also going to waste our time. You can shut down enemy resurrections. But that requires incorporating a bunch of extra things into your build, which frankly, that's just too much work. Excuse me? I think this time the Cherub did successfully resurrect some of his teammates. But that's okay. We're blazing through this. Alright. 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 We can do it. By Jove, we can do it. I mean, we objectively can do it, right? What I meant was, we can do it in not that much time. And it's a good thing that we got 40-80 out of the way early on. Because it would have sucked to have a bunch of easy encounters with the gods and then have like his annoying nonsense just, you know, cramping our style just when we thought we could end the episode easily. So yeah, I'm glad that's done. And we are nearly done with an Alpha as well. And just a couple more. Oh, it's you again. Yeah, let's finish off an Alpha, and then we'll go after Siralim. So far we've done 40-80, Alexandria, Regalis, and now an Alpha. And now an Alpha. Immediately gonna go after Siralim. Rebirth! Oh no. That's kind of bad. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give Greater Dispel to one of my people. Do I have a spare Greater Dispel lying around? God, no. This is gonna be awful. Greater Dispel. Upgrade. Okay, now let me look at my creatures. Who has the highest speed? You do? So I'm gonna give you a Greater Dispel that goes ahead of your other spells. Alright, oh, and you are a life transformation. All right. God, like all the time we saved is going down the drain. God. Okay, let's not be crazy about this. Sure, whatever. Equip it on you, on top. And hopefully this is gonna solve our problem against Siralim. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they have the other buffs, right? Because these are the main ones that need to be gone. Alright, let's fight Honor and Courage. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, we already got the costume, that's fine. So, yeah, this fight is worth getting out of the way because this is going to take a bit of extra time. We took time setting up a thing to make it easier for us. Ooh, 2 different skins in 1 drop. Alright. Alright. 2 different skins in 1 drop. Yeah, this is gonna take us a while. We are at 1 hour 11 minutes. We are into our 5th. Into our 5th. 5th god. We've passed the halfway point. Oh no. Now you'll see what happens when they resurrect. It's... what happens is you gotta do it all over again. So I'll just do this and then kill you. So it doesn't always work. It seems that sometimes your creatures just go in unusual orders. You can't always predict who's gonna go first based on just their stats. I don't know. I don't know. Most of the time this should happen. Unfortunately, Greater Dispel is one of those spells which doesn't really help you to cast more than once, but because of the way we've put together our party, every spell is being cast more than once. We can't disable it so that Greater Dispel is only cast once without just breaking everything else. But at least we've... Excuse me? Fuck off, dude. Maybe we should leave Greater Dispel off and just like kill them twice? Like, it's roughly the same amount of time casting Fermented Hops multiple times versus casting Dispel potentially multiple times, and it's annoying, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We knew there was going to be at least one that was going to give us minor problems. So far, the only one that's actually wasted one of our keys is Regalis. So that is a point in her favor. A bit of a special honor for her. Although she did it because of the creature she had in her party. Any other god would have also forced us to forfeit had they had a Pumpkin King in her party. But she had the foresight, you know, to have golems as part of her favored creatures. So, you know, credit where credit is due. Alright. Already up to 22. And already up to 22. And we're getting a whole bunch of emblems. Eventually, we are going to have to go to all of these realms for all of these gods and spend all of these emblems that we're getting to buy more keys and, you know, the remaining decorations and spells. But mainly the keys, because we're going to have to start building a new stockpile to ascend our specializations. How many are we gonna need? Well, we've already ascended the animator, we've already ascended the deprived, we've largely ascended the shadow bringer, shadow dancer, like whatever our current specialization is called. We've largely ascended it just because this is the one that we've been using for our Fermented Hops party, so there won't be much more to do for this. But we will need ooh, you know what? You know, one thing I just realized is I'm gonna be cutting it very tight for keys if I'm trying to ascend the deprived on like no. I'm not cutting it tight. We can always go to a realm and buy keys. It'll just be a bit of a diversion. And there's a good chance that we can beat all of these gods and beat Torun and ascend the deprived without buying any new keys at all. Oh, fuck off. Okay, you know what? Just make sure that nobody's coming back. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine for keys. We can always just pop into the Arachnid Nest, because we have beaten Regalis. We're gonna have a bunch of extra keys to spend on her, and buy those keys if while fighting for the Pariah Ascension, we feel that maybe we don't have enough keys, because maybe, I don't know, we get really unlucky against Gonfurion and we've got to try and kill him like 5 different times before he gets killed, or, you know, something like that. There's another skin. That's good. Already at 30. That's nice. And how much time are we at? At under an hour and 20 minutes. Okay. That's still decent, because an hour and 20 minutes is, you know, 80 minutes, which is 20 times 4, and we are more than halfway towards finishing the 5th, which is pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. Despite the fact that we had to take a bit of a detour, set up a new spell gem, and the fact that the battles are a little bit slower because we're casting Dispel. Yeah, you know, I am feeling good about the pace of this episode once again. I was worried that this would slow us down a lot. It didn't slow us down that much in the end. Oh, but this might slow us down because they're gonna resurrect. And we're gonna waste extra time. You know, just do this. Now we are past an hour and 20 minutes. I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing just fine. I think we got nothing to worry about. Oh, but this is happening again. Alright, you know what? This time I will do a bit of this action. Oh, excuse me. There we go. One thing I will do is I'll put a time marker in the video description for where you can skip to if you don't want to see all of the individual fights, but you just want to see the recap for all of the achievements that we got. And I'll even show the skins that we got, right? Because that's always exciting to look at. And I think that's going to make for a nice compromise. And again, I do not blame you at all for skipping all the way to the end. That's probably what I would do if I was watching a Let's Play like this, is I would skip to the end just to make sure that I knew everything that was accomplished. And then, if I had the time, I'd slowly watch the rest of the episode. What are we gonna do next? Probably just gonna do Aurum, Azural. Hopefully the fact that we already have 6 kills against Azural is gonna save us a bit of time, put us even more slightly ahead of schedule maybe. We'll see. We will see. This is gonna be our 6th. Yeah, this is gonna be our 6th. Because we did 4080. Then we did Alexandria. Then we did Regalis, Aneltha. I mean, we can look at the achievements at the end to remind us of which ones we did exactly. But you know what? We'll just go through it. Regalis, Siralim, 4080, Alexandria, Aneltha. Who am I missing? Alexandria, Aneltha. Who am I missing? Let me just take a look at the achievements. What do we get? So 4080, Alexandria, the random Aurum fight, Regalis, Aneltha, and Siralim. Is Siralim the 5th? Or am I losing count? 4080, Alexandria, Aneltha. Am I? Is this the 5th? Maybe it's the 5th. It's... I thought this was the 6th. Let me just check this quickly. Let me count them properly. So 4080, Alexandria, Regalis, Anelta. So 4080, Alexandria, Regalis, Anelta. Siralim is the 5th. Okay. And the 5th would be an hour and 40 minutes. We are 15, well, assuming we finish you quickly, we'd be 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So yeah, there are 3 more after this. I was off by 1. I think that one fight we did against Aurum kind of tripped me up. No, we haven't killed him 40 times. We just killed him once to confirm that it's gonna be doable. However, pretty soon we're gonna be done fighting you, and that means we're gonna be able to unequip the Greater Dispel, which is gonna save us quite a bit of time in the remaining fights, because we're not gonna need it for any of them. All right. Yeah, letting them resurrect and kill them seems to be taking about as much time as it would if you just dispel them and then kill them. But when some of them are still with the rebirth, then it is worth getting rid of it, because you don't want the worst of both worlds. You don't want like some of them resurrecting once and then you kill them normally and then there's still somebody left and then you gotta do it all over again. Right? At that point you might as well bite the bullet and dispel, save yourself a bit of time. Alright, you're done, and you soon will be done. And we do get the dispel happening when we wanted it to. So most of the time it's happening when we want it to, but every once in a while somebody else is going first, which is really throwing me off. Anyway, so that's done, and now we're just gonna go after Aurum. This is our 6th. Then Azrael will be the 7th, and whoever's next will be 8th. Oh no, I forgot to dispel. I forgot to get rid of dispel. Sure is right. That should save us quite a bit of time. Yeah, an hour 40 minutes would be the normal. Like if all of them were taking 20 minutes exactly. And there's the plush. If all of them were taking 20 minutes exactly, then it would be an hour 40 minutes by now. We are an hour 30 minutes because Siralim did take a bit of extra time. The battles took a little bit longer, and we had to spend a bit of extra time equipping a spell as well. Ooh, we got the costume. So that's good. Ooh. Muscle memory was taking me back down to Siralim, and we're done fighting her. Aurum, Azrael, and then Friden. This guy is occasionally gonna have a Vulpes in his party. Which means if he casts an area of effect spell, could mess us up and generally could waste some of our time. We could deal with it by having them be... No, we couldn't deal with it by having them be silenced, because it would be a resisted silence. It's a boss fight, they'd have a resisted silence, they'd still be able to cast the spell. That wouldn't really do anything for us. Wouldn't really do anything for us, so... At least without doing anything really too creative, this is really the best we can do. Yeah, this is gonna be a long episode. Next episode's gonna be a long episode. Listen, it's just something you gotta get done. It's just something you gotta get done. Azural and then Erebus. Erebus, not Frighten. Ooh, he's got abominations. Hopefully he doesn't have too many cloth abominations with their giant shields. Alright. Only at an hour, only quote unquote at an hour and a half. But we've made significant headway into taking Aurum down. You know, like, the collection of god skins is going to be such a mess at the end. I really wish it didn't put them all into the same... I really wish it would sort them by the god that the skin belonged to. I really wish it did that. But sadly, it doesn't. Maybe there's another way you could look them up by having the gods in your party and then seeing which skins you are able to apply to them. And it would filter out all the skins that are for any other creature, including any other god. But that would be such a tedious way of doing it. Like swapping people in and out of your party. I don't think that's a reasonable way to go through it. We'll just have to go through the entire list, you know. Nothing to be said about it. There's another skin. Oh, I lost you for a moment. Yeah, we'll just go through the list, and we'll remember the 8 gods that we fought. A lot of them will be just... It'll make it easy because it'll have the god name in it, like Halloween, Aurum, Christmas, Regalis, whatever. For the rest of them, we'll just have to look through all of the skins and remember which ones were for the gods that we fought. I think we can remember 8 names, you know, especially after killing them 40 times each. So the 6th one that we're taking down. And then we'll go into the 7th one, and then... like, again, I don't need to tell you how numbers work, but it's just a way of raising my own morale, you know, kind of convincing myself that we're making good progress, which we are, but you just gotta remind yourself every now and then. That was definitely a good call, getting rid of Greater Dispel. That would have wasted so much of our time. We're halfway through Aurum, and we are at an hour 35. I think we're making up some more time again. Because 2 hours exactly would be the benchmark if it was taking 20 minutes per god. We're gonna be done with Aurum well before 2 hours. The only question is how much time can we save on top of that? Hopefully a lot. Alright, another one down. Excuse me? Yeah, see, that's what I meant about these Vulpes creatures who are getting start of battle free spells cast. If they do an area of effect damaging spell, they will kill us because we're not taking any precautions about actually surviving a hit from these guys. Our entire strategy is kill them before they're able to do anything, which is... Well, I mean, we have one resurrection, right? But other than that, we're just hoping that we either kill them before they do anything, or if they do get a turn, that they waste their turn casting useless spells, and then, you know, we kill them whenever we next get an action. Oh no, he's gonna resurrect, isn't he? Oh, he's not. Okay, good. Okay, good. Alright. We are still under an hour and 40 minutes. So we are picking up the pace. Pretty happy about that. Alright. Alright. And after this we do Azural and then Erebus. And then we're gonna be done. Alright. Huh, alright. All right. Okay. Lost you for a moment there. That's okay. Then gone a bit silent just because, you know, there's not much you can do to commentate over this. I guess at this point we might as well just start talking about life in general. So I should mention that even though this episode is going to go up in August, based on the schedule, I'm recording this in April. It is almost the end of April right now. And I've been working from home for a couple months because the place where I work, which is a certain university in the Toronto area, was on a partial strike for a while. So they had the picket lines, and a lot of people, a lot of jobs that could be done from home moved, you know, to work from home situations, just so that, you know, people wouldn't have to deal with the picket lines. Luckily, the strike has ended, but now there's a lot of things we got to do to make up for lost time. So that's creating some issues. There's also, I think, so the strike happened in the middle of the winter semester, you know, the one that goes from, the one that would have gone from January until the end of March, or January until April, but the strike interrupted that, and now there's a remediation period that's going from, well, I mean, that's going on right now, but which is gonna continue for another couple of weeks. But the next semester has is already about to start. So there's gonna be a period of time where 2 consecutive semesters are gonna be happening simultaneously, like the end of the remediated winter semester and the beginning of the new summer semester. So that's creating other confusion. So that's it's gonna be a thing to deal with. But you know what? That's life. These things happen. You just gotta adapt and deal with it the best that you can. Yes, that's all about how things have been with me. I hope things have been good with you. It's been it's not been an easy time in the world the last few years, right? I think even before the Ukraine war started, there was some like a cost of living was becoming an issue, and then obviously the war started, and then lots of things went up in price. Then with the stuff that has gone on recently, especially with Red Sea, shipping in that area, that could also disrupt things and make life more difficult for a lot of people. So like a lot of things in the world are looking kind of bleak right now. And obviously, you hope things get better. And I'm an optimist. I think things will get better. Already, in some cases, I feel like the worst of it is probably over. I hope I don't regret saying this, but I feel like things are maybe back on the upswing, even though sometimes it can be hard to feel that way. But like there is, for all of the major problems going on in the world right now, like there are pathways towards solving a lot of them, and I'm confident that at least eventually we will end up walking the right path and making the world a better place for everybody in it. Alright, so Aurum is now done. We're gonna move on to Azural. We are at 1 hour 43. Ooh, we're making really good time. Really good time. Let's keep up this lovely pace. And we saved a bit of time with Azural just because we'd already killed him a bunch of times. So that's nice. Alright. Ooh, also we just hit 72%, but like I said, we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. For now, let's just keep going. We've got to do Azural and then Erebus, and then we'll be done. Probably will go a little bit past 2 hours. And that'll just be the time when we have killed the final god for the 50th time. We will do a bit of a debrief after that. We'll look at the achievements that we got, the skins that we got, and a bit of a preview for who we're going to take down in the next episode after this. And we'll just keep things going that way. Alright. So there are fewer than 80 battles left for us to do. Well, fewer than 70 now, because we've already killed this guy a bunch. And each one of these that we take down brings us ever so slightly closer. And I guess this is kind of like this entire episode is kind of a showcase for why this spell in particular, or the spell in conjunction with other parts of your build to make sure that it's used properly, why it's so good at taking gods down and completely bypassing so many of their gimmicks. Alright, well, that was a bit unnecessary, but that's fine. Alright. Yeah, we'll have a couple long episodes, and we'll just accept it in exchange for just getting this done. Just getting this done and over with. Yeah. What else to talk about? One thing I guess I'll talk about is I played Diablo 4 for the first time in many months, or I guess at least 6 months, the other day. Not in my place. I played it at somebody else's place. So normally I'd be playing it on my laptop, but I think the fact that it's either my internet connection or the fact that I didn't install it on my SSD, I installed it on my regular, slow caveman hard drive. So, like, something was causing it to have really like long loading times, even back in the day, to the point where sometimes it would just time me out and disconnect me mid-game if another player was happening to run nearby, just because it just couldn't handle just loading another player. Although there are issues with that where, like, if another player comes near you, because of the way the game is coded... Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I hadn't hit A to get the combat going. I got too carried up, too caught up, or too carried away in my Diablo 2 rant, which is, like, the way they coded the game was every time another player entered the same zone as you, the game would load their entire stash. Even if you had no intention of ever trading with them, it would just do it, like, unsolicited. And, like, maybe as an anti-cheat measure or, like, some other reason. Anyway, the point is, like, there were a lot of issues with the game. Just structurally, there were issues with the game having lots of bugs. Oh no, I went after... I misclicked. Damn you, Diablo 4. And now Aurum has the distinction that he is the only god other than Regalis who has wasted one of my keys. Whereas with Regalis, it was because we had to genuinely forfeit. With Aurum, we did kill him again, but technically it was a wasted key because we didn't need to kill him anymore. Okay. I'll try and concentrate a little bit more. But I will continue the thought. Because now that I'm worked up, I wanna get this off my chest. So like early on, Diablo 4 had a lot of issues. I did beat the main story. I even got pretty leveled up. I even beat every single side quest, which was very difficult to do because the game does an awful job of letting you know where the quests are, how to do them, and it does this really dumb thing where you can only have a maximum of 10 side quests in your journal, and then it won't let you, like, what, like, who, I don't know if they changed that. Maybe they changed that. I didn't really notice when I was playing it, at somebody else's place, on their character, by the way. They were on a phone call. They were like, hey, why don't you play a Diablo 4 for a bit while I talk to my work colleagues. I was like, sure. Then I played as a druid, did a few side quests. So I don't know if they've fixed every single issue that they had at and around launch, but it does look like, at least based on what I hear, that the game is a lot more playable. There are still lots of things missing, man. Like, they still haven't brought in set items. Like, to me, like, set items are such a big part of Diablo. I know eventually item sets stopped being best in slot. Like the one of my favorite sets was the Talrasha set, just because the purple armor made you look so good. It was just really awesome. I know long term everyone just wears Enigma and like other rune words and rare items. And even when the sets were introduced, right, they were a little bit like controversial because they superseded the old OG like unique and big rare items that people had collected. But the sets felt good, right? Because they felt like the... Excuse me? Do they have like extra traits or something? The fuck is going on? What? What? Oh, no longer take damage from blighted. Okay, this is, yeah. See, this is why we couldn't use fermented hops to run regular realms, because we could never fight any party that had this creature in it. So, Azural now has the distinction of being the third boss that has wasted one of our keys. But yeah. What was I even saying? Yeah. Set items in Diablo. It oh, and the like the high level item sets were okay, maybe controversial, like the Talrasha and I mean, I guess that's the main one, just because of all the like it gave you magic find and everything else. But there were like low level sets as well, and they were lots of fun. Like the Eisenheart set, that was really nice because it was all like golden and glowing. I really like that one. What else? What other sets were fun? Like the Death's Garments, or like whatever that set was called out. That was good. That was a nice one to find early on. I've forgotten a lot of them. Eisenhearts is the main one that I remember because it's a great set if you can collect all of it and if you can share it between your characters. It's a great set to level up with. Saigon's set was also a lot of fun. That was also a good set to level up. Or at least like mid-level, early level kind of. Yeah, and then there's others like Hasaru. like listen up. It's been a long time since I played Diablo, and even when I played Diablo, I would really only play a certain classes. Like I was a big paladin guy myself. Are there, like, there must be a paladin set, but when I played Diablo 2 Resurrected, I wasn't using any sets. I was just using Grief and Fortitude, and Herald of Zakrum as my shield. Like, oh, Angelic Raiment? Was that the, was that the, like, the name of the set? I think there was a set like that. Let me pull it up on my phone a little bit. In between these realms, because I don't want to spend extra time looking up stuff unrelated to this game. Let me keep going. Diablo 2 Angelic Set. Angelic Raiment. I was correct. That is the name of the set. But did that give like any paladin bonuses, or was it just like angel themed? Let me take a look. Partial set bonus. 10 dexterity for 2 items, 50 mana for 3 items. Complete set bonus. Half freeze duration, all resistances plus 25. 40 magic find. Mana regen. Oh no, sorry. And then the partial set bonuses. So I guess it wasn't a paladin. Was there a paladin, like a low level paladin set? Or maybe I'm completely misremembering. Maybe I'm just completely misremembering. Oh yeah, and this page also has a list of all the other sets. So let me just look through this list. Arcanus Tricks, Arctic Gear, Cathan? Oh, Milabrega. Milabrega's Regalia. Wasn't that a paladin one? Am I confusing? Yes, it's a set oriented for yeah, I knew I was partially correct. There is a like a low level paladin set, but it wasn't the angelic set, it was the Milabrega. So yeah, like, set items have been a big part of Diablo 2 for a long time, and it just, even if you're not using a set, it felt satisfying to collect the entire set. And I mean, maybe I'm the only one who did this, but even when I was leveled up and like using, like, you know, rune words or rare items, every once in a while I would just take out all of the pieces of a set that I'd collected, because I'd, you know, try to keep them in my stash. You know, playing single player, I would have mods that gave me extra stash space. I just equip all of the items in a set, just so you can see the way the text turns to green, and the way it shows the, hey, we get the plush, that's awesome. The way it shows the set bonuses as active, that was just really, really, really satisfying to me. Like, it shows you the normal, like the regular item enchantments, because even if you don't have the full set, the individual items uh, do stuff. That's why in a lot of builds, things like laying of hands, you know, those gloves, or Guillaume's face, that helmet, those are individually best of slot, and you're not supposed to complete the rest of the set. A best in slot, or close to that. And you're not supposed to get the rest of the set, because the rest of the set will not be useful for you. But yeah, like, the individual items did do things, but it was just really satisfying to me to just see how the game displays it when you have the entire set. It was just... There's a lot about that game that was really good, and incidentally, a lot about why Diablo 2 was very good is also... It also carries over into this game. I'm sure, like, this game was inspired by many, many different things, but I feel like a very, very clear Diablo 2 vibe playing this game. Especially when it comes to card sets. So the game could have had set items, I guess, in terms of artifacts. They could have done it that way. Like, you know, maybe there's special artifacts that you find, and if one creature equips one, and like, if all of your creatures equip a certain combination of them, you unlock certain things. That could be one way to do it, but the game chose to take that idea, but incorporate it into a completely different kind of, like, collectible in this game. Like finding cards. Like, the cards in this game are essentially item sets, right? Because you have partial bonuses, you have full bonuses. The individual items also give you small stat bonuses just for having them. So like, not only is it satisfying to find the card just on account of it being a rare drop, but then you also get these bonuses that help you out, and some of them help you out quite a bit. Like the ones that make your buffs last forever, the ones that make enemy debuffs do worse things to them. Yeah, it's like, finding cards is my... Ooh, another 2 skins, hell yeah! Like, finding cards is my second favorite thing in this game. My favorite thing is, of course, finding skins, which is why, even though I said, ooh, you know, we're so pressed for time, it's gonna be such a long episode, even though I said all of those things, I am gonna make time at the end of this episode to look at all the skins that we unlocked. Like, you can't not, right? You've gotta do it. You gotta do it. Speaking of time, how much time are we at? We are at just over 2 hours. And we are about over a quarter of the way through taking down Erebus. And it's gonna be about an hour and a half, I would say. I mean, a lot less than an hour and a half, but our looking through our achievements and looking through the skins that we got is gonna take a few minutes. So we're not just gonna immediately quit as soon as we get done killing Erebus. Alright. Alright. Yep. Let's keep on going. But yeah, going briefly back to Diablo 4, I did enjoy like the improvements to the game. It did feel like a much smoother experience playing it. A couple days ago actually, that was fun. But I don't think I can really go back to the game unless they bring in set items. That's a bit of a deal breaker for me. You gotta have item sets, or I'm not playing your game. It's just that's just those are my stipulations. And I don't think they've confirmed yet whether or not they are planning on adding item sets. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait on them to... Like, I've already bought the game. It's not like I'm gonna get my money back. But I'm not gonna pay for any DLC. Unless that DLC includes item sets. I mean, to the game's credit, I enjoyed it a lot. I did beat the story. And kept playing for quite a while. I did every single side quest because that's the kind of completionist that I am. And I really... So this... Like, I have some issues with the story. I feel like it kind of meandered a little bit. Like some of the side characters that it brought in, it felt like their arcs didn't really go anywhere. But the ending was just that was just top notch. That was good writing. The cutscenes were beautifully done, and it was just a treat. And the final boss fight was also fun. So that was fun. Like, I mean, sometimes as gamers we can tend to get into this mode where like we just complain, and it's easy to complain about Diablo 4, but they also did bring some genuine value, right? That I did appreciate. I just wish that they'd been able to fix some of the problems with the game pretty early, because it really did feel like that the game was unfinished. That's my biggest issue. Every game has like bugs and other things that slowly get worked out over multiple updates, but that game just felt like basic things that should have either been there as features, or not game breaking, but really like frustration inducing bugs, where you spend half an hour doing a dungeon, but then a quest objective just fails to spawn, and you've got to either give up, wait for an update, or just start the whole thing all over again and then hope that it works properly. Like stuff like that, you know? So hopefully they get their act together. I mean, there's always Path of Exile as well, which realistically is probably where I'm gonna go. But hey, if Diablo 2 does shape up, and if they do like add like set items and other stuff, I would at least watch a playthrough of it on like wherever people are doing it, because these games are also a big like time and energy commitment, in addition to buying the game, obviously. And especially with long grindy games, sometimes you only have space in your life for one of them at a time, and right now obviously that one is at least in terms of things that I'm recording for my channel, that slot is very much taken up by Siralim. But it's not to say I couldn't play another grindy game kind of on my own time. Not for recording, like I'd probably... Like, never say never, but... Actually, it could be interesting to do a playthrough of Path of Exile, but it would have to be a very different kind. It couldn't be like Chronicon, where I have specific goals and I can get to them in a fairly predictable amount of time, and I can reasonably 100% the game, assuming I play with every single character, and then afterwards potentially hardcore. Path of Exile has so much in it, and to its, like, almost everything that it has is like something of genuine substance. So when I say so much, it's not like I'm saying that there's too much. Like, almost everything in the game is maybe even like everything outright. Like, I don't know, I haven't like fully looked into what the community consensus is on like every single update they brought out. Maybe there's one where everybody hated it and they're like, oh, like, fuck this nonsense, but then they had to keep it in the game because you can't completely retcon a major update. You gotta kind of just like build around it. So maybe there's something that everyone hates, but I know that by and large, the feeling I get based on what I see online and the people I've spoken to is that every time they've brought out an update, it's like that the game started out good and that the updates made it much better. And then of course there's Path of Exile 2. Like this entire time I haven't even been talking about Path of Exile 2, I've just been talking about like the original Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2 is also a thing that's been on my mind. You know what? That one I'm gonna wait a little bit. That one I'm gonna wait because I like whenever an action RPG comes out, you can like there's a lot to enjoy, but the thing is, I don't want to be in a situation where I start playing Path of Exile 2 and I, you know, toil hard, come up with my own build that I really love, that's working really well, and then because it's early on and like there are always huge balance changes in the early patches whenever a new ARPG comes out, I don't want to be in a situation where I get attached to something, emotionally attached, and then I'm told that my entire build is just useless. So I'm gonna wait for at least a few cycles of the game having patches and updates before I feel like, okay, it's probably in a somewhat stable arrangement that I can start experimenting and coming up with cool things and having some confidence that these cool things will stay for my entire journey in the game, which I think is a reasonable thing, right? Like, I'm just gonna wait until I'm confident. Like, let other people do the unpaid playtesting, all the things that are gonna lead to the balance changes. When the game is in a relatively, final draft kind of state, then that's when I'll jump in. Right, and we're almost done. Almost done. And feel a sudden burst of energy as we are only quote unquote 2 hours and 14 minutes in, about 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Schedule being if they had all taken 20 minutes. So we did save quite a bit of time. And yeah, it's been fun. All right. That's the final win against Erebus. Let's wait for that achievement to pop. There we go. And let's just take a look at how many remain to be fought. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving Torin for his own episode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which we will do next episode. Before we end off, let's take a look at some of the skins that we unlocked. And the only way we'll be able to do this is by going through the list. What was that? No. Azural was one of the ones we fought, but I think we might have already unlocked this skin from earlier. This is one of the ones we unlocked today, Goddess of Peace. Erebus now has a bunch of doves flying around. Very cool. Halloween 4080. Looks like a brain in a jar, almost. Or maybe that is what it is. Alright, that looks pretty cool. Halloween Alexandria. Like Edward Scissorhands or Freddy Krueger. Not sure what the face is supposed to be. It might be a reference to something really obvious that I'm not getting. If you do know, feel free to share. Halloween Oneltha is a skeletal worm thing emerging out of the ground, or like a snake maybe. Worms don't have bones. Obviously, it would be a snake of some kind. I think we've seen Halloween Aurum. The boxing gloves are just floating around. His hands are out. He's kind of a robot-themed costume. Halloween Azural is just carrying around his own head. Good for him. Halloween Caliban. I think we've seen this before. Halloween Erebus. A witch with a broomstick. And hard to see, but a black cat behind her right leg. You can see the red eyes. The cat, unfortunately, isn't in the animations below. Halloween Genros? I think we've seen this before, because we definitely haven't fought Genros today. We've seen that. Oh, we've seen this as well. Oh, we've definitely seen this. My favorite skin so far. We've seen this. Halloween Regalis is wearing a nurse costume. That is amazing. Shalan. Halloween Suratli is... I don't know, is that like what? Like Chun-Li from Street Fighter? Or is that like one of the Overwatch characters? I feel like I recognize this. It's not Chun-Li. What was the name? Am I right? Overwatch. Characters. God, there's a lot of them. Wasn't there like a angel kind of Mercy? Is that Mercy? Was that her? I might be wrong about this. I mean, she does have wings, but I don't think this is her. It's something else. We'll keep looking. I think we've seen this, we've seen that, and we've seen this. Volcanar, Aneltha, the jewel collector skin. Very colorful. I like it. Oh, I think we've already seen this. It seems familiar anyway. I think we've seen that as well. We'll go back to the next page. Meraxus Aurum, Prismatic. Might have seen this before. It looks kind of familiar, but it looks cool. Radiant Surathli, very similar, like rainbow vibe going on. Sparkle Queen, I think, yeah, we've definitely seen that. Spider form for Regalis, she just turns into a spider outright. Very menacing. Springtime Alexandria is just wearing a bunch of leaves, it seems, and a hat. Very cool. Springtime Erebus has roses all over her wings. Springtime Regalis in a very elegant dress and very elegant hairstyle, question mark. Not even sure how to describe this, but I like it. I think we've seen those. See that Summer Surathli with the blazing sun behind her. So we've seen that, we've seen this, and I think that is all of the skins that we have unlocked for today. Let us also take a look at some of the recent achievements. Many, not many, but like several pages of achievements. It all started with killing 4080, and then 12 more pages of achievements after that, just for killing all these gods. We got all the way to 72% of the game's achievements, and that feels pretty good. And we spent, well, I don't know how many keys we spent specifically, but we have 330 left to take down 9 gods. 330 for 9 gods? Is that correct? Yeah, because 8, and then we have to fight, what's his name, Torin. So we might have to dip into our reserves, go to one of the realms, buy up some of the keys. But yeah, for now though, we are gonna call it good. How long have we gone? We have gone 2 hours, 23 minutes. I'm gonna call that acceptable. That is a solid episode's worth of god killing. We're gonna do more of this next episode, so we're not done just yet, but we are done with a lot of it, and hopefully we're done with the annoying stuff. Like I would say the most annoying, obviously, 4080. Surathli was mildly annoying. I'm hoping that the rest of them are just gonna be like just blaze through them and then get it done. But anyway, that is going to be all for this one. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. Even if you didn't watch the entire episode, even if you just skipped to the end just to see the cool stuff that we found, the achievements that we earned, I'm happy to just have you around. And I hope that you're going to stick around for the next episode as well. And until then, take care.